This is Brown Mogotsi on day one Madanga Commission. And this is Brown Mogotsi during, in between, throughout day two Madanga Commission, because the Madanga Commission let him have his cake and eat it. Unfortunately, he thought they would eat it too, but Madanga Commission is not Madangering. They are not eating anything Brown Mogotsi has brought to the table, which has absolutely shocked him. You have to understand, this man has built a reputation, I would say a reputation, amongst the Vusimuzi Ket Matlala, Senzom Tunu, everybody, okay? Anybody, Shadrach Sivia, anybody who he had his WhatsApp messages with, he uses it specifically to play them for his own advantage. Everything was always about him and what he can get out of the next person. For example, with Senzom Kunu, he needed Senzom Kunu to play along, to reply to his messages, so he could show Vusimuzikat Matlala. Why is that important? So that Vusimuzikat Matlala can open up the purse strings and fund his political dundunis over there in the Northwest and fund, I don't know. Okay, all the fundings that needed to be funding, Kat was the funder. Okay, Brown Mogotsi needed to make sure to keep Kat happy. Okay, and so he found his way. Okay, he wiggled his way inside Pagati within Senzom Kunu. The problem is, I'm highly concerned if a police minister did not notice that he was being played. I'm also highly concerned that a whole deputy police commissioner, national police commissioner, also got himself wiggled with the wiggleizer. Yeah. That's what we're going to call Mr. Brown Mogotsi, the wiggleizer, because he's been caught at his game, his web of lies. And how dare he bring King Mrs. Zulu into all this? Can you imagine dragging a king into such matters? Wow, this is Brown Mogotsi. Let's hear some of the highlights of what happened yesterday as he struggles to even answer the bare minimum. So he has this strategy, which is what I've kind of noticed about him. You ask a question, he'll ask it back to you. Why? He's buying time in his mind. Where can I go with this? What can I say? How can I convince these people? You see, these are learned colleagues, and the learned colleagues have learned him. Let's listen in.
You want to show Mr. Matlala that you and the minister are discussing the PKTT, or at least people in the leadership of the PKTT, correct?
Not discussing that. I sent him a message.
Yes.
Remember, the minister did not respond.
Yes.
If it's me, it was a one-way communication.
No, I'm saying you are sending this to Mr. Matlala.
Yes.
And the purpose of you sending it to Mr. Matlala is to show Mr. Matlala that at least you are discussing the PKTT with the minister.
Yeah, that I sent him
Yes.
a message, yes.
See, one thing about Brown Mogotsi is he always made sure to keep receipts, to keep documentation, so that the other party felt happy that, okay, work is being done, things are being done. If you remember when Konazi was inside party within the Madanga Commission, this is where we saw the messages from Ket Matlala, who seemed a little bit disappointed and now was going to get arrested. They took away the tender from him, and he sent a message to Brown Mogotsi and said, "You've been lying to me. Anyway, I've got receipts of everything." So, do you see how this game is being played? They were all playing the player, okay? They were all playing each other. And then there was General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. They never predicted that element of General Mkhwanazi. But let's continue listening on and continue to watch Brown Mogotsi's facial expressions. They're absolutely hilarious.
And that you are portraying the PKTT, or at least its leadership, in a negative light. Is that correct? Because you're not saying positive things about the PKTT or its leadership.
In that context, yes.
Yeah. So you are portraying the PKTT in a negative light.
To Matlala.
You are showing Matlala
That's
that
correct.
you are portraying to the minister the PKTT in a negative light.
No, I'm not showing that. It's not in that context. To show, this is where there's a court judgment.
Yes.
It's a fact. You don't portray, you are showing him, this is now what I think
Yes.
the PKTT have done, and this is what my suggestion is
Yes.
to the minister.
So you are suggesting to the minister that the PKTT is doing wrong things.
That there's a court judgment.
Yes.
Yes, not the PK. Here we are not referring mainly to the PKTT. I'm referring to the judgment, that here's the judgment, and I feel the leader of the PKTT should be accountable.
Yes.
Yes.
No, we're saying the same thing. You were referring to a judgment.
Yes.
But what interested you in the judgment was the conduct of the PKTT,
That's correct.
which you thought was bad.
Inappropriately so, yes.
Yes. And this is around 11:18 in the morning, so it's 18 minutes after 11.
Yes.
Yes. And then what follows this text is a text on page 59 to Mr. Matala, where you say to him, "Today is D-Day," on the other side. You see that?
I see that 100%.
Yes. And what I'm going to suggest to you is that the only thing of relevance or significance that happened that day is the disbandment of the PKTT by the minister.
Absolutely.
At least that is relevant to Mr. Matala. I mean, I'm sure the whole country would have been celebrating the end of the year. But in these exchanges, the only thing of significance that happened that day is the disbandment of the PKTT.
That's correct. That's
Yes.
correct.
And this suggests, at least to me, that at 11:32 on the 31st of December 2024, you knew that PKTT was going to be disbanded that day, and that's the message you were sending to Mr. Matala, that this is D-Day, this is the day when PKTT is going to be disbanded.
The suggestion, Commissioner, is misplaced, Commissioner. Here it was a D-Day. Remember I said it was, this is what I said. If you check the message, outstanding issues. But from the top, it starts by, "I'm now worried, my brah."
Yes.
He said, worried about. And I said, the outstanding issues, now this again. Then I said, okay, today is the D-Day on the other side. I think you must also stand back. The D-Day was the pay for the payment of the January 8. And then to stand back, look, this is now what supports the stand back. He asked me, stand back, don't understand what you mean. Then I only spoke about your safety and business, because I did allude even yesterday. It was after I heard that they were going to Matala. I don't want to say attack, but they were going to do a similar thing which they did previously. That is why I even say, if you check the next one, I said, we must just fight what comes your way to help him. It was his way. It has nothing to do with the PKTT and all those stuff and all those things. Now, I don't know, Commissioner, if I should talk about the letter that you say it gave impression to the minister, and I've also showed to Kate.
No,
I
did not ask about that. I'm only focusing on this text.
Yeah,
so D-Day to you referred to payments for 8 January.
That's correct.
So why did it have to be D-Day on the 31st of December
because
2024?
It was what we agreed with the arrangement for the people who were going to Cape Town that we were going to pay. And the focus, as I've said, let's say there's no D-Day, and I say you must stand back, and he asked me from what, and I say for your safety and your business. If it was the PKTT, when he says stand back from what, I should have said something big is coming that is going to make you happy, or something to show that I was awaiting the disbandment. But we were talking specifically about his safety and his business.
Yes. And his safety and his business have
correct.
everything to do with PKTT and not the 8 January event of the ANC.
Yes, that's what I said, because the D-Day is separate.
Yes.
On other issues, is a D-Day on the other side.
Yes.
Yes, but now,
And then when he asks you why he must stand back, you say It relates to your safety and your business.
Business, yes.
Which means it relates to the PKTT.
Because they were going to go, as I heard, they were going to go to.
Poor Brown Mogotsi. What he thought would make sense to Ket Matlala, Senzo Mchunu, Shadrach Sevilla is not making sense inside Phakathi within the ad hoc committee. He's talking about D-Day is all about going to the Cape Town. But then what about D-Day and your sentence of safety have anything to do with a trip to Cape Town? Ladies and gentlemen, Brown Mogotsi has been caught and he just did not know how to get out of it. Listen, Commissioner Khumalo was not there to play and he was taking him bat by bat, sentence by sentence. Brown Mogotsi even tried the trusted and true tactic, which is let me diverse the conversation, let me distract and let me segue into another conversation. Commissioner Khumalo said, I didn't even ask you that. Let's go back to where I need to be.
A senior general in the SAPS. I'm saying to you, that is interference in police matters.
Commissioner, it means you are suggesting to me what happens in the Cape Flats, people being raped and killed, has nothing to do with me and the Commissioner. Commissioner, this is South Africa. It is our South Africa. There's nothing wrong to tell a member of parliament or the president or whoever about a particular problem in Eastern Cape or elsewhere. Besides being an agent, this should not be brought in my line of work.
And then there's Brown Mogotsi, Mr. Self-Importance, my line of work. I'm an inside agent. Only to find out there is no such qualification that he possesses. This is an absolute interesting day. So this is literally what happened. He decides, you know what? Let me turn safety to talk about the Cape Flats. And I am sure, oh my goodness, okay, MP Honorable Souls must have been jumping up and down saying, yes, Brown Mogotsi is speaking about the Cape Flats. But in all honesty, he was just using that as a distraction tactic to turn the conversation. Oh no, let's talk about the Cape Flats. Don't push me into a corner. Let's also focus on the Cape Flats. Commissioner Khumalo said, stop it right there. Stop it right there. Now, I know some of you are going to start typing that I'm being sarcastic with regards to the Cape Flats. No, my commentary is strictly on how Brown Mogotsi pulled the Cape Flats into the conversation, which, in my opinion, was inappropriate. Let's continue listening on.
So let me put it the other way. If Mr. Ket Matlala had said to the minister, I want you to arrest Khumalo or to charge Khumalo, as an ordinary citizen, that would have been fine. There would have been nothing wrong with that.
There was nothing wrong with that. I mean, it is him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Johnson.
Chair, there is one follow-up question that I just do want to ask, and I just want to clarify with you, Mr. Mogotsi. It's that chat from the minister when he asks, was the arrest effected? And if I understood your evidence correctly, you were saying, or what he was actually interested in was the escape of the Zama Zama kingpin. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So he wanted the Zama Zama kingpin arrested because the Zama Zamas had arrested.
He was never inside the hole.
Are we talking about the same person, Tiger Tswaedi?
Commissioner?
Are we talking about the same person, Tiger Tswaedi?
The kingpin. I can't remember. I think it's his. I can't remember his name. That guy is a tiger from Lesotho. I'll have to find out. I must check the right name.
Because what I do want to put to you is that it's quite clear that an alleged kingpin of the Zama Zamas called Tiger Tswaedi was arrested and did escape. And there was national press about it, there was a controversy about it. And he was described as the kingpin of the Zama Zamas in Stilfontein, and he escaped. But that escape only took place in the second week of January 2025. So it couldn't be what you were talking to the minister about on the 24th of December 2024.
Commissioners, I'm still repeating again. Where now Tiger is this camping, like you said, there was a national thing. That's why I say I can't remember that name. There was a camping who was also arrested in Stelfontein. Now you are talking about something else, somebody now who also appeared on the news. It's not that one. There was someone who, that's why even the community was looking for, was terrorizing the people, forcing them to go inside the hold for mining, that particular person. We are talking about two different people here.
So we're no longer talking about Zama Zama kingpins.
Is a Zama Zama also?
I don't want to take that one further.
Sorry, just to be
Because
clear.
that's the meeting which was arranged by the chief of staff for me to meet the minister there, for the minister to meet the community.